Well, here we are. I am making videos. So Ben and I both enjoy playing games. Ben tends to get a little more frustrated than I do, and I like to talk more than he does about games, so he gets bored pretty quickly. So I decided that I'm just going to play some games. And if occasionally Ben gets to join us, that's great. But I'm never going to say, hey, we have to go play games right now, because I don't want it to be something that he feels like he has to do. So today we're going to upload a solo video. Now, Kynseed, okay, this game you can buy on Steam. If you see right here, we have 2017 to 2022. So I kickstarted Kynseed back in 2016, I think. It was the Kickstarter. And I was like, this game's never gonna come out. Because that's how most Kickstarters feel. Because I guess when you play games, you don't have a concept really for how long it takes to put a game together, especially if you're a small dev team. So this game is kind of, it's got some Stardew Valley feels with the art and the game concept, but it's actually developed by people that worked on the Fable games. So good mechanics, good mini games, the whole game put together feels enjoyable. Like each piece feels enjoyable, and then it meshes together to make a good game. So I'm a little in it already. I have like maybe 40-ish hours in. I wanted to get a feel for the game to see if it was something that I'd be able to play consistently enough, and I think it will be, because it seems like there's a lot to accomplish, and there's a good kind of reoccurring game style to it, but I'll get into that. It'll make more sense when you see it. Also, if I'm looking all over the place, I've got my game here, right? So if I'm looking here, this is the game, and my camera here, so I'm gonna try not to do this. So camera's there, game's here, and then I got my web browser / OBS up over here. I have the web browser up because I need all the hints. I tend not to be a hints guy. I like to play the game for what it is, but there's a lot going on. All right, so right off the bat, we've got kids that are my age, but they're actually not my age. They are like 7, but they look like they're my age because of a curse that is currently on my family. Yikes. Gotta watch out for those curses. I will explain that as well in a minute. Now, the thing to know about this game is sometimes the audio, like the music just does not play. And I think it's because like it went through its whole like circle already. Now it's like, what do I do now? All right, so right, you got farming. I've got chickens. I've got cows. I think these chickens might be sick, but I don't really know. They like look green to me, so they might be sick. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of different things you can do. Now, you're probably seeing off to the side here, we got star values, right? Quality of plants is pretty standard for games like this. The thing that is important, though, is those star qualities come into play for skills. So gardening skills, right? If I get this one, plants water themselves after the first day of watering. So amazing skill, great idea. Once you unlock this skill, you then have the ability to see what's required for these skills. So I've done all 3 of these. I can see my requirements for these 2 skills. So I need 5-star carrots. I've got that already. I need 4-star, I think it was just radishes. Yeah. 4-star garlic, and then 4-star aloe vera, which I already got. So garlic and radishes are what I need now. And I actually planted a bunch of radishes and picked them. So I can't do this here. I have to go to this guy. So I'll show you that in a minute. But the frustrating thing about this is the star value comes into play based on certain conditions that are met. So I have a blessing on my farm right now that adds 2 star quality to everything that I'm growing. So that's why this stuff's getting pretty high star values, even though I'm not really meeting most of the conditions needed. But there are like natural herb plants that you can pick around, and you just kind of have to meet those requirements because you can't, there aren't really blessings for herbs. There are for berries, but we'll get into that more, let's see, in a couple days. So it's the 11th right now, and the 14th, the 7th are days that you can give offerings, and every blessing has a corresponding curse. So you kind of have to like pick and choose what you want. You don't want, some of the negatives are really bad. Some of them aren't that big of a deal. Like the one I have right now makes all my family ancient, is what that curse is. But all that really means is they can't do certain tasks. So it's not that big of a deal. It's a little frustrating, but it doesn't change the game too much. And they only last for that week. So at the end of the week, they go away. Here is my kin tree. So I've made some fat stacks, got all the reputation, a couple good relationships, which is great. And then I haven't done too much on the farm actually. So this is where I think a cool concept of the game comes in, because it's not all about farming like other games like this. You can buy shops. So I had a general store and 2 blacksmiths that were all running, but they were all running at a cost to me because the workers' pay was too high. So I couldn't afford to keep paying my workers. They have like an expectation for their wage, and kind of like real life, they quit if they don't get paid what they want. But yeah, so like if we go, it only shows me a year, I guess, which is frustrating. But yes, like this year, right? Year 14, I did all the work. I made all the orders, mined all the stuff myself, and didn't employ anybody and sold it all myself. So actually, this year, I did that in the second half of this year. The beginning half was all paid to my staff, right? So you can see here, like this is huge outgoing. So I only made this much, and I ended up really, like 2,000 of that is like all me. I had like no workers working. It was just me making 2,000 gold. So I think there's some ways to finagle this that I just haven't quite figured out yet to make it worth your while. It could also be that the profit is just supposed to be so minute. You know, you're not supposed to just rake in the cash, I guess, because that would be kind of lame. I found a way around that. A theme you're going to find in games with me is I have a tendency to break games. I like to find the things that like make the game run well, and then figure out how I can exploit oversights by developers. So yeah, I'll show you an oversight. Why don't I just show you? I'll show you what I'm talking about, because I'm talking a big game, but I'm not showing you. So I realized early on, okay, if I do the blacksmithing, like you have all these options for things you can make, jewelry, okay, zinc ore is pretty easy to find. It's pretty plentiful. And so here's one of the mini games, right? So if you want to craft anything, you've got to do this mini game, which like is kind of fun, but it's a little mind numbing after like the 1,000th time of doing it. If you want to land it in the green, you got to click at the right time. And then same thing here, you want to land in the circles. So pop, boom, right? So you don't have to be perfect with this. Get a couple perfects, that's good. But this is all increasing the durability of the item, right? And you can make 3 mistakes and then the thing will break if you make a 4th mistake. Okay, so 4-star quality for this item, right? So if I put this on my shelf, I actually have a bunch of stuff I want to put on my shelf, so we can do that now. I've got one up here already. Let's see, we can put both of those up there. We can put this up there. Look at all these. I've got freaking 10 of those. One of those up there. Each shield does a different thing, and each charm does a different thing, so it's good to have the different types. But I don't need all of these. Shovel. These. I have 6 of these. Holy cow. All right, so each of these, right, sells for a different price, and you can order materials at bulk and then sell those, and this profit margin is like so small. So I was just not making any money. But I realized if I crank out, oh sweet, when did I find one of these? That's sick. If I crank out a bunch of the jewelry, right, and then I open the shop up, I only have like 1 or 2, so it's going to be a bad example, but I'll show you anyway. We open the shop up and people will start coming. And there's 2 things they can do. One is they'll ask you to make something specific for them at a certain day, right? So he's going to ask for a bucket. He says, please, in 3 days, 10 a.m. I'm going to say, no way, dude. Get out of here. I want you a dang bucket order, right? Then in the ledger, right, we have declined order -1 rep. Now, reputation is important. It affects a lot of different things. I'll get into all that later. But basically, reputation is important. So you don't want to lose a bunch of reputation, but you only lose 1 rep per declined order, right? If you accept an order and then don't fulfill it, it's like -17. So you don't want to do that. It's better to just decline the order. So he's going to ask for this. I'm going to say, no way. It takes a little time for people to be like, oh, you're open. Yeah, here they come. And my reputation is already so high that I have a large number of people coming. Also, what? I definitely met this guy before. That's weird. I employed him at my shop at one point. Strange. Okay, so this is a blank order. So he's telling you what he wants, right? He needs a shovel, obviously, so I'll accept that. Here's what I found out. If you sell them something that they're not actually asking for, they will accept it. You'll get a reputation hit, but they'll accept it. So for this time though, let's do a real shovel. Okay, so we'll do this zinc shovel. It's 5 stars. Do you think 5 stars a lot? I think zinc shovels are like 17 gold. Let's see. You can see up here in the top corner. Yeah, 15. Okay, so that was 15 gold for a 5-star shovel. Okay. So he liked that a lot. That's good. Let's see what a rep he was. Okay, plus 20 rep. So I can deny 20 orders today and still be a 0 for rep. So now this guy, yeah, dude, no way. Get out of here with that nonsense. I don't want your sword order. Iron ore, yeah, hook me up. Thanks, boy. No way, dude. I'm not making you anything. You were just here. Dude, all right, I have zinc jewelry right now. Why don't you just pick it up? I'm not going to make it for you later. Ah, here we go. Okay, portable liquid vessels, right? Probably wants a bucket. But I'm going to sell her zinc jewelry instead. Because watch how much this is. 42 gold for zinc jewelry. It's just as easy to make zinc jewelry as it is to make any other thing. Well, I can try to make this work. So I convinced her that this is a bucket. There's a roll stat for this, basically, that it's a placebo. You can convince them it's the right item. I convinced her to work. So that didn't cost me any reputation hit. Right? Zinc jewelry, I actually got plus 12 reputation for that. It's not even what she asked for. Right? So if you give them that and they don't fall for the placebo, it's a -5. But because my reputation's already so high, I can take the hits. And most times, if I fulfill 1 or 2 requests for real in a day, I end up coming at a net 0 or a positive. So I just keep declining this nonsense. I'll buy any ore that comes across the counter. And then another guy with this will come up. I need something to collect stuff. He wants a bucket. He'd love a bucket. You know what he's going to get? He's going to get some jewelry. Boom. 22 gold. That was a 1-star. Okay, 1-star jewelry. Pointy and Hurdy. Probably wants a sword. But you know what he's going to get? He's going to get some jewelry. 15 gold. Right? So this is what I did. I made like 20 zinc jewelry pieces a day. Like that's all I would do is I sit here and I just go and crank out zinc jewelry. And then I'd sell it for like 42 a pop. And I'd sell it to everybody that came in. Everybody got zinc jewelry. And I made fat stacks. It's super mindless, but at the same time, you make tons of money, which I needed because I wanted to advance the game. So it's things like that that I enjoy about gaming, like finding the small, somebody thought through every aspect of this game, except for this one. I think if you're a gamer and you played Skyrim when it first came out, you probably know about the dagger forging glitch. So it wasn't really a glitch, right? They set a standard XP gain for forging. It didn't matter what you forged. So that was stupid on their part. So if you forge an iron dagger, it was the same as forging the best item in the game. So you just got iron materials and would forge iron daggers and crank out like 40 a pop, and you could get to level 100 smithing in like no time at all. So it's things like that I enjoy. Like, can you figure out some things that like were left in that probably shouldn't have been left in? If so, utilize those things and make money or advance the game, however it, ends up playing out for you. See, man, people are asking for Halite swords. I don't even know where to get this ore yet. They've been asking me to make I can't even get your ore. Doesn't any no way I'm gonna be making your swords? Holy cow! I know I got a good reputation, but I mean that's crazy. What does this sell for? 10? Yeah, see, it doesn't make sense to make anything other than jewelry. And that's the biggest problem. There's not an accurate pay equivalence for items that should be of value. So obviously the greater the quality of the item, right, the more people will pay you for it. And I'm selling 1-star things, so 1-star item, but it's harder to forge with that material. That was abyssal ore, I think, is what that shield was. Yeah, see, everybody wants to order stuff, right? So now if I run over here real quick and let's pop out maybe 1 or 2 of these. People will keep coming in still, and you can press F to pay respects. Basically like, hey, hold up. Hang on, I'm coming. Yeah, look, this guy wants another Halite sword. Tell me where to get that ore and I'll make you the sword. So yeah, this can get super tedious, right? I'm not gonna do a video of me just consistently playing this mini game because that would be so boring. But I'll put an audiobook on and I'll just crush a couple zinc jewelry pieces. Oh, see, I missed, right? So you can only do 3 of those. This will probably still be 3 stars, 4 stars, great. All right, so now let's go over here. He's been waiting, he's all mad. Still gonna decline him anyway. See you around, dude. Sucker. Oh my gosh. It's fine. Right. I need something to calibrate holes or to create holes in the garden. Well, let me tell you what works great for making holes in the garden. Zinc jewelry does. I'll make it work. Oh, thanks. You're the best. All right. So look, we got decline orders -20. I sold them this and he didn't like it. So that's -10. There was 2 people that didn't accept the placebo. 1 person didn't accept it here. We have 2 people that did for 12 here. 1 actual order for 20 here. Right, so we're still with those 2 alone, we're at a net positive for rep. So you're not going to gain rep fast this way, but you're going to get rep. You're going to get huge profit this way, though. And at this stage, for me, profit is more important than rep. Early on, you want to get rep because it helps you kind of progress the game. And I still am only, I think, halfway through the reputation gains. Like if I open this thing back up again. Right, so these are all reputation items. I only have half of them, right? These half are still locked. So I'm not even really halfway through the game at this point. Decline. I also think my kids are only 7. I think at some point you can tell your kids to work at your shops for you. You maybe don't have to pay them. I don't actually know if that's a fact or not, because I have not gotten that far yet. Right. Okay. So how is this supposed to help? That's a negative thing, right? So if we go over here and we go down to lithium ward. So some people accepted it, some people didn't. The -5 doesn't make sense on a $10 item, but for 42, right? That makes sense. Do I have? I feel like I need to have a shovel better than that. Oh, I do. Okay, cool. So this shovel, right? This is a harder to forge ore, 4-star shovel. You'd think, I don't know, maybe 40 gold, something like that. It's going to be 15. Yep, 15 gold. Right, so the system's broken in more than one way. And for me, I like to find the way that it breaks positively for me and then use that to my advantage. So, that guy's pissed. I turned him down and said, too bad. I don't want to make your thing. I want to make your thing for 7 measly gold, 10 gold here, when I can just go over here crank out a quick, look, I won't even do, I'll do an abyssal stone one, right? I won't even do zinc. This is a better ore. I'll show you what I'm talking about. The reason this is harder to forge. So the bars move, right? So that makes it harder on this piece. And then the circles move on this piece, right? So timing is more important here too. I've missed a couple of these before. The hammer also moves back and forth way quicker. Oh. Right, but still full duration here. And then we got good to go there. Right, so this is going to be, what was that, 3-star? I put to my inventory. Okay, metal holdy thing. I got the perfect thing for you. Look at that, 20 gold. Was that a 1-star? That's crazy. I got gypped on that. That was a 1-star. Listen, people, gotta be honest with you. We're closing shop. All right, it's 5 p.m. I got a family I gotta get to. Okay, get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, shop's closed. Go on, get. All right, so that's kind of the idea, right? So, like I was saying, the important thing here is to enjoy the game. So if you want to fulfill orders and, you know, play that piece of the game, I did at the very beginning, and it got me nowhere. It got me rep. It got me reputation, which is good because I needed that. So that's a way to play for sure. And I would emphasize the importance of that. The problem that I encountered and the reason I had to do this in the first place was the staff feel like they should get paid at a certain price point regardless of what the store makes, which is a pretty standard problem. And there is no decrease in staff pay because they always feel like they should get paid more. And so I got to the point where my staff were expecting 16, 18 gold an hour, and they're working 9 hours a day, every day of the week. And they did not effectively bring in enough income to offset their pay. And if you pay staff that are lower, expect lower wages, their levels are lower, so they can't move as quickly. So it's not really a staff issue. It's actually a balancing issue because the levels don't coincide to come. So if it was 18 gold an hour to pay for someone who brought in 36 gold an hour, right? That would make sense. But it doesn't correlate that way. So you're paying all this money, and it literally, like I said, it was a deficit for months and months and months. Like I can actually probably show you. Let's see. Yeah, sweet. Okay, I can. So gonna be all the way at the bottom. Yeah, account summary. Okay. All right, so this is week 2 of autumn. Week 2 of autumn, balance is negative. Okay, so this week, right, this is the week that I was talking about. I made all the money myself, right? So I only spent 163. I made this much. So let's come down a little further here before I started doing that. Yeah, here we go. Right, so this was hammer and nails. This is the other forge shop I had. Loss of 167. This is my other store. Loss of 66. This was blacksmith shop I was just in. A loss of 800 gold in a week. 800 gold. It does not make sense to stay open when you're losing 800 gold a week. And I was still making stuff. Like I was still in the forge. Like I was fulfilling orders. Man, this game is too accurate. Too accurate to the small business lifestyle. So like almost all these months, right, are deficits. I was just taking hits, just eating it every single week. And finally I was like, nah, I just can't do it. So here were a couple that had positives. But these were like way early on, right? This is when like the staff, it was like 3 gold an hour for the staff, and they were doing just as much work. So the increase in stats that they get for working does not correlate to an increase in income. So that is my giant ramble on the negatives of this game. Okay. Positive of this game, very fun to play. Okay, most of the mechanics are enjoyable. Most of the gameplay is enjoyable. If you like games like Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon, if you liked Fable, you'd probably enjoy this game too. I think there's a way to probably run these businesses better than I'm doing it. Just need to kind of finagle with it a little bit more. This is fast travel. I unlocked this. We'll talk about fast travel in a different video. But I think this one's already been a hot minute.